Hello and welcome to another character impressions video. I'm Jelly.
I'm Raid.
And I'm Sosie.
And so here today we've got a returning character, one of my personal favorites, Pit.
One of the most interesting reveals, I think, of the especially early Brawl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, I think that award goes to Snake, but out of all the characters revealed, I mean, we had Wario, Zero Suit, Meta Knight, and then like Pit. And like Pit was like the most like, what the? And especially not only and I think that's probably because he was redesigned from the ground up for this.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, when I saw that reveal for Pit, he just stuck out as me as a character I really wanted to play. He was the first character I thought I was going to main. They did a wonderful job of his design, and because he kind of got that start in Smash, they made a game off of that. And I hope that happens with a lot of the newcomers.
That game was great. And another thing I think is worth mentioning is that Pit actually replaced Yoshi as the original 8 that are first shown at all the first characters that are all revealed. And this just shows, I think, partially Sakurai favoritism because he's the one who made Kid Icarus, and so it's his baby now. Yeah, Kid Icarus Uprising, not the original. So it's his baby now, and he's put a lot of love into him. You can tell.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Well, yeah, it was. You had the Smash Bros. E3 reveal for Smash Bros. 4. And in it showed every one of the original 8 except for Yoshi, and instead of Yoshi, it showed Pit.
Yep.
And yeah, and Sakurai loves Pit. I'm excited to do this video. We were thinking about doing another newcomer, but we want to throw in enough veterans, and we were looking for one that had what we think is a lot of new interesting stuff that we can talk about.
Mm-hmm. And
I really feel like Pit takes that cake. I'm excited to do this video, and so if there are no objections, I say let's get to the moves of the character. I will say, actually, one thing we could talk about real fast before we get started is in Brawl competitively, or actually how he's used. And Jelly, why don't you give some of your thoughts on how Pit did in the metagame in general, being someone who mained Pit for a time.
So the thing about Pit is there weren't that many people who played competitively in the States. There was a Japanese player that was went really far with Pit. His name was Earth. And Pit is an interesting character because a lot of people think he just spams, but he's also got some interesting at low percentage chain grabs on some characters, and then sometimes he has a hard time killing. His back air is his best kill move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He could get some damage up. He's really fast for I don't know. I think people underestimated how fast he could actually be. And I think that was something that kind of made a lot of American players not play him that much.
I do think he kind of had the stigma as a noob character, unfortunately.
Exactly.
I mean, because of his wings, and then he had, I think, was it Neutral B? That's
No, the Over B.
That's Over B. Yep. It's Over B. But that was spammed beyond normal amounts, and so
it's like the Link up B in Melee. It's just like.
That's all I would ever do. I admit to that fully. And it's interesting. I do remember, and especially in early Brawl, like as you'd play with your friends and just play around, you found a lot of Pit players.
I think just as a new character, he drew in a lot of people.
Yes.
Like Lucas.
Yes.
People just saw him and they're like, wow, this character looks pretty cool. I think I'll try him. And then there were a lot of simple things that you could do with him that were really annoying.
Yeah.
And then even later on, as the Brawl's metagame kind of been up and down with spammy and really aggro and aggressive. Right. And when it was really spammy and that kind of stuff, Pit was one of those characters that could just hang on the ledge and just fire arrows at you. And competitively, that also drew a lot of people away from Pit, I feel.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you're right. Like as I'm trying to think of just the history of at least Brawl, I can't really think of any really notable Pit players that stuck with it.
Yeah, there was only the Japanese player, and not a lot of us here heard about him. So.
Which is very interesting because I think, like you mentioned, he kind of had some things that struggle against him. I feel like if we look at him, he's really kind of a simple character.
Yes.
I mean, for as diverse as his moves are, it's really kind of simple.
Straightforward.
Yeah, very straightforward. I mean, his B moves except for maybe his arrows, kind of feel like extensions of A moves. And I mean, his up B, for as good as we all thought it was going to be and ends up being, it was rather simple.
But I do think that in Smash 4 that it looks like his moveset has been made more
Oh, yeah.
complex.
I'm very
and
excited
so
for
that's
Smash
one of
4
the going to be one of the big topics today.
Well, and I
obviously.
was going to say, and it's very interesting because in Project M, I mean, we have Armada who made Pitt famous in Project M, just with
the Swedish sniper.
the Swedish sniper dude.
Is he really Swedish?
Yes, Armada's
Yes, he is.
Swedish.
Ah, that's awesome.
He's a cool cat. And so it's interesting. I feel like because of Armada's use, a lot of people picked up Pitt in Project M for a while and tried to do all that. And I'm very interested to see in how well he does in the new game. And
I like his design in this
Yes.
game. They made him not beefier, but I don't know. He seems more of a brawler,
Yeah.
I guess I shouldn't use that word,
Yeah.
but he looks like
more of a 4.
a 4, yes. Or he looks more 3D.
He looks more like 4
you.
3DS.
There you go.
I
Or a
do feel like
4-wheeler.
lots of the face proportions of the characters have been made into cuter. Like his eyes are definitely bigger. Same with Fox and Peach.
Well, that might just be how with every character being more expressive.
it could be just stylistic.
I think the thing that Jelly was trying to say is that I feel like he has more of an aggressive feel.
Yeah.
He doesn't in Kid Icarus Uprising, he's kind of awkward and weird, but still lovable at the same time. This one, he's still got that look, but there's a more serious tone to it.
definitely a different attitude.
Yeah.
I feel like that helped with Kid Icarus Uprising as well.
Totally.
They took that kind of model, that kind of Pit. He's still this kiddish kind of naive little guy, but he's here
Sakurai
to fight,
Sakurai did both of them, so
Yeah.
he just ran away with it. Yeah, here's another of the picture. But let's jump right into this and
His feet are big.
Yep.
them sandals,
Them sandals.
them sacred buns. And we are excited. We found out something cool about this website. So if we'll start with the neutral B, probably his most famous move, and let's see if it starts loading.
Them air loops.
And we found out now I know that this little the pick of the day description is pretty simple. It just shows his pose and how it's been a little bit tweaked.
Does it say?
But then we can show you how it's been tweaked by this site lets you do a brawl
Comparison.
He
comparison.
definitely has he's more centered with his gravity, where the other one he's leaning forward. So he looks more stable in the newer one.
And his arrow's got that aura around it.
Oh, and I think
His
Pitt's a
better
character
graphics.
that the graphical update is going to work really well for him.
Yep.
I mean,
Especially with those wings, those things kind of are tricky.
totally. This move itself, I don't think we've seen anything too much more about it.
Really what matters, I think, is just how fast are the arrows going to go.
Arrows, damage, and
damage.
controllability.
Yep.
Which, I mean, that's what Project M was all about, is your ability to to keep sniping
They were
with those
slower,
arrows.
but they were...
But to keep interrupting when recovery is so much harder in melee, I mean, that was just that just destroyed. So, I mean, I think arrows. I mean, obviously, the way the physics engine runs itself is going to determine how well those will be used. Whether they're just kind of an annoyance in Brawl, or whether they're as destructive as they are in Project M. And that has a lot to do with
And the shenanigans with arrows. I mean, one thing that was amazing was there was a lot of shenanigans with arrows. You would see even, Earth would sometimes do it, not as much, but the arrow loop thing. There were even combos with arrow loops where, you'd grab someone and then, either grab release them and then an arrow. So basically, an arrow loop, you shoot it up in the air and you make a perfect circle. It would come back around, even though it was off the stage, and hit them from behind.
Right.
So sometimes you'd have a grab where you just grab them and you pummel them and then break out, and then an arrow would hit them and you could grab them again.
Grab them again.
That
And
sounds
there
really
was-
tricky to pull off.
Well,
Yeah,
the
it's very,
arrow, the way it works is the arrow is completely controllable during as soon as you fire it, until the arrow disappears, it's totally controllable. And so you could have it be constantly going in circles. I mean, generally it would go off screen, but you could do so much with it, and at least in regards to controlling it. And so a lot of pro players were able to do that well. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much all we can say about the arrow. So I say we move forward.
Yep.
Let's see.
Move forward. To the forward.
To
B.
the, well,
Oh,
I think
the
up
B.
specials
My bad.
next. Although I'm
That
excited
was
to
a
talk.
creative segue, though. I'm proud of you.
Okay, so this is not a Miiverse comment, but we do have the Brawl version as the comparison.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a definite change for him.
Big one.
Huge.
It's
They've done that with lots of people's recovery, I think.
we see it in the last direct. As a description, it's now become very Lucario-y, and that it seems that you kind of go in a direction and just kind of fly straight forward.
Yeah. Like, I think are you able to curve it? Is it?
It doesn't look like
I think it looks like it.
It almost looks like it was a Lucario
curves
kind of
slightly
thing.
at the, well, yeah. Lucario's curved slightly at the end. I think his just goes straight. Is what my impression was.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it looks like it's got a fair amount of distance. In the Smash Direct, it shows him almost at the bottom of the screen, going in a straight line upwards towards Battlefield, I believe.
Yeah.
Either Battlefield or I think it might be Skyloft. But what this means, if it's quick enough, it should be okay. And I don't know if those new ledge mechanics will affect this too much. I'm still a little bit iffy on those.
Looks like it'll be okay, but yeah, if you aim wrong, you can definitely hit the side of the stage and fall.
I'm most there's the aiming, and then there's the thing I think about is how easy it is to punish. I mean, how quick can a Ganondorf jump off the edge and just prepare that thunder stomp and shoot him straight down?
It does kind of feel like an extended version of Wolf's Side B.
Okay.
A better version.
A better version.
Yeah, frankly.
For the lack of a better word.
And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other modifiers to the move that we might not know yet.
So, will he be able to attack out of it?
Good question.
Like you could in Brawl.
Like, what's its utility? Like, not as a recovery move, but maybe as like an approach.
You know, I always thought that was interesting in Brawl with those characters that could actually attack out of their up Bs. Like Snake and Sonic.
I think
and
that
Pit
benefits Snake a ton.
It does a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering to see if they completely scrap that with some characters.
Yeah.
Wait, we've seen Sonic attack out of his up B.
Yes, we know Sonic has.
Yes, so he's still.
With Pit, every time he's used it, I'm pretty sure it's gone straight to an edge.
Yep. We've never seen him.
Oh, there's been that one time where it shows him just kind of. It was in the very first
flying
trailer. He just flies off the screen. He kind of, it's like angled on Skyloft, and he kind of shoots in an upright direction, and then he's just gone. We don't know what happens afterwards.
Okay.
Although, yeah.
Yeah, and the up B in Brawl, I feel like it was slow as well.
Well,
like,
and
it has amazing distance. You could get hit with something, and you would just die.
Well,
and it was kind of slower, or it took a while for it to get faster.
Right.
Like, you kind of had to just hover there
you were kind of heavy for that for a second. You used it too low, you'd die.
Yeah, actually, it was really frustrating, because when I was learning how to play Pit, and I started getting better with him, if you're down near the bottom of the screen, you will actually dip down before you go up, so you will kill yourself with the up B.
You still have some falling momentum.
Yeah, so it was really annoying.
And on that mention, if we go to the character mythos, I mean, we have Kid Icarus. I mean, normally you could expect a really amazing recovery from a guy with wings.
Yeah.
But it's actually interesting because this change might actually reflect more of Kid Icarus lore, which is that he doesn't actually fly. He's granted the power of flight by Palutena.
And they took gliding out, which is big.
Yeah.
That's a big part
and that's actually probably a bit, and so we'll see how he adapts. I think the FD, I don't know if it's going to be a huge change. I mean, obviously his ability to recover is always important.
Yep.
But, I mean, he, like you said, maybe he can just shoot above the stage and be able to attack out of it, and he'll be fine. And with the distance it looks like it has, I think his up B is decently safe to say that it'll be all right for him. Like, I'm not worried about his recovery at this moment. But we'll just have to see what his options are out of it. And I'm pretty sure by the time we have that tournament and after E3, we'll know very well how his up B does. And now let's jump to what I think is one of the coolest new moves he has.
The biggest change, probably.
And it doesn't let me do a comparison, but just so you know.
It's a new move.
Well, yeah, maybe. But the over B in Brawl was you would spin the blades in a big circle, and you could just stand there and sound annoying. And it would reflect things. It would kind of be a little continuous damage.
Actually, I have a question. Does he even split his blades at all in this? Because in Brawl, the cool thing about it is like he would split his blades in half.
Well, in his
bow, I guess is what you'd say.
That's a good point.
And I don't think we've seen any moves where he takes his blades apart like that.
Well, we'll know by the end of this, hopefully, if we're paying attention, I guess. But okay, so I will mention real fast with this description. I'll zoom in. It says, although it'll deal Pit some damage, Thunder Jolt isn't powerful enough to stop the upper dash arm.
That sounds like Super Armor frames to me.
That's Super Armor.
And Super Armor is always the godsend. And Pit, that's kind of a joke.
Well, I gotcha. Interruption.
Right, but that will help. I remember Pit's game in Brawl was generally like, oh, I'll just stand here and shoot arrows. If you come to me, I'll start using my smashes and whatnot.
Forward smash, yeah.
But if
Yeah.
maybe a running up smash or two.
Mhm.
But like this now allows Pit, like generally you would maybe like glide
It's
to
an
get
approach,
close,
yeah.
but yeah, this now gives Pit a pretty reliable approach, and one that if it packs
Has
the
super
wall up,
armor. Yep.
and if it packs the wall up, I think it's going to have like
Kill move.
his ability to just kind of like walk away, maybe like walk away and then quickly over B
Mm-hmm.
is sort of a mind game kind of approach like that, and that will I think will be very useful to him.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be able to throw out a move, and I wonder where the hits are because here
Yeah.
it shows it behind his arm.
I could almost see it as like a Captain Falcon
Raptor
side
boost.
B, but like it looks beefier than that with
Yeah.
this big, huge upper
That's a
dash
great
arm.
comparison.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it will be a kill move, unlike something that just doesn't do in the air in combos, or maybe
Right.
at low percentage
Well, in Captain
combos.
Falcons, it's a hitbox the whole way through. Like it
Yeah.
activates as soon as he gets within range.
I wonder if that's what it's going to be like.
I'm wondering if this one it's like you have to know the spacing.
Like it will always swing up at one part, but you
yeah,
have to-
like and maybe it'll like
that'll make it hard.
like
but,
maybe it'll like let's say in this picture like maybe it'll like push Pikachu forward a little bit, but it'll still hit him.
I see, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
He doesn't have that much knockback.
Mm-hmm.
but I think
It
especially
looks like
with
it would.
with the super armor frames, I mean that makes it very Ike's over B actually.
Yeah, and maybe you can press B and cancel it out whenever you want.
Exactly.
Maybe it's an
It
attack
looks like
that.
it'll be a fairly safe move. We don't know the lag after it, which is going to be a huge plus or minus.
So I'm
for it.
trying to remember, how fast is this? Do we...
Fairly fast, if I remember it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of winds up a little bit and then punches.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those moments where I'm like, I need to find some videos.
Exactly. Trying to remember
Which we'll get
exactly
better
how
at, we
fast it
promise.
was.
Don't hate us.
We just lost half our subscribers.
I know.
Haters
Don't unsubscribe. Just kidding.
Haters gonna hate.
But we have super armor frames for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are the kind of questions that once answered will really let us know how well this move's going to do. I think it addresses something Pit didn't have in the last game, which is a reliable approach and a decently safe one. I mean, obviously we don't want anything that's always safe all the time, right? Meta Knight? But having this is something that I think could prove beneficial to him. And so I think that's anything else to say before I just close it out. But
Well, the side B, not that I know of. I think we're good.
okay, shenanigans. Now to this, which I think is a super cool addition.
Amazing.
I mean, look, this one does have a comparison.
This yet again proves
Oh,
that
I just missed
they're
it.
taking a lot of things from Kid Icarus Uprising, which is really cool.
Which makes sense.
Well, he did I mean, they had to make up so much
Well,
initially.
I'm getting nothing. Keep talking. There
They,
you go.
well, they
you
had to make up so much initially. All they had was this really old school game, but now that they developed him so much in Uprising,
Mm-hmm.
he has a lot more to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So,
So-
biggest difference from what we can see is that he can do it on both sides.
Okay.
So
Yes.
it's makes it pretty much as good as a spacer reflector at that point.
If not better. Here's
Might be
my
weak
question.
from above or below.
Yes.
Oh,
But then
yeah.
again, most like that leaves like what a PK Thunder to be
Or
able
just,
to get in
or
from
like
above.
items, like a
Oh,
Zero Suit
okay.
Samus
Or a
suit
Thunder.
piece. That's
Well,
pretty
suit
cool, but-
faces are probably out, my friend.
That is true, but I'm just saying,
New-
like items.
that'd be
characters
hilarious. That
have
was just like a
items.
regular item. Suit pieces. Suit pieces only matches.
Or Zero Suit Samus just comes with suit pieces anyways.
Well, I guess it could if
I
like
don't
her
wanna-
animation is still the knocking.
I don't want to wear my clothes. I just want to throw
I
them at you.
throw them.
I actually just wanted to see. This has nothing to do with this, but I wanted to see Zero Suit Samus throw the helmet. Like, I just think that'd be funny.
Bonk.
Anyways,
Bonk.
okay.
So one of
This move.
So, I think quickly, my questions are this. Does the activation of the move have any hitboxes to it?
Mm-hmm.
Like like a
it could
shine?
push out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
does it push out? Is it like Ness's, which even though Ness's technically does push you away, it doesn't more in other versions.
And the wind, yeah.
Yeah, Lucas's is damaging when it closes.
Yeah.
Or is it when it
was
opens?
closed.
Yeah, when it
Mhm.
closes. So that's one question I have.
So, I mean, that is interesting to think about because these look like they're quite a ways away from him. Like,
Yes.
They're pushed out, like, in
Yeah, and I
Brawl,
don't
it was
know
like
if we've
right next
seen
to
him
him.
activate
You know?
Orbiting him.
I don't know if we've seen him activate it.
Yeah, well, haven't we only really seen a picture?
I
I
hope
don't
with
think
the
we've seen it in a
customizable
video.
No,
move sets.
I feel like we saw him use his orbitars when they were introducing him and showing
Maybe
clips.
we'll look into it. What maybe we should do videos of just like here's all the clips we said we'd show you. But
Or do links in the
Right.
description later.
Link? No, we're doing Pit, Karen.
Link sucks.
Who said that? We have... So, yeah, I wonder if there's a hitbox to it. With Pit's down... Here's my second question. With Pit's down B in Brawl, it not only reflected moves, but it would actually reflect people. Like, you could reflect
Amazing.
DK's Giant Punch.
It's like a cape.
It was like a weird cape.
You had to pull it out. It was
Was
right
more
when
like you
it
just
pulled
kinda
out.
Rebound off it.
Right.
Mhm.
And so, like, you
Right
could
when you pulled
actually...
out.
Like,
Yep.
against, like, if a Fox or a Falco, if they tried to recover above the stage and you placed there, I think you could actually push them just right back off.
Yeah, it was big against Ness and Lucas as well. Because
Oh, right.
they're pretty, like, predictable with how they're going to do it.
Right. So, actually, that would mean if that still does that, Pit's recovery is now one that would get worried about something like that.
Well, it was only moves that would damage.
Oh, really?
Yes. So any move, like Lucario, you couldn't. I'm trying to remember. Could you reflect him? I don't think you could. I think it was only moves that damaged because it was a shield that would reflect damage
You
back.
could walk
So.
through it. But
Guest voice appearance. This is Anno Nano.
I suck.
You may know him later when we talk about
You're
certain
welcome
other
to sit
characters.
down and join us if you want.
But we're going to keep
Maybe.
talking, so he can
There you go.
decide. So yeah, I think that's going to be an interesting thing to it.
Mhm.
It looks like, I mean, both sides, I mean, first off, the move looks really cool, I think. And I hope with customizable move sets, you might be able to, like, use different Orbitar styles. Maybe the cat Orbitars, cat paw.
They
Pop-
have,
the
they
pop
had a
head.
Kirby Orbitar, right? A Meta Knight and a Kirby.
Oh, I
Orbitar.
think they might have.
did.
Mhm.
They did.
Singing Sakurai in all of his references. But
Yeah.
I think it's, like, this
This
is a
will
move
work,
that
baby.
it's just going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not one of those ones that has a lot, I don't think it has a lot of drawbacks.
Mhm.
Or
I
takes
mean-
forever to take out.
Right. I mean, that can. I mean, if it can interrupt you somehow. I mean, yeah, he could probably risk just jumping off the stage when people are recovering, shooting that out, and just seeing
If it
what
reflects
happens.
their B, yeah,
Right.
I
especially.
am kind of sad that it isn't a mirror face anymore, though, just because of the whole Medusa Greek mythology reference that has. But
Well,
I
isn't
mean,
that
they're
with
still
the Great
awesome.
Sacred
But he has the great
Treasures?
sacred treasures.
Which I think that shield is.
Yes, and I believe it is.
One of, yeah.
All right, so that's all. Those are my thoughts. I think this move has a lot of potential, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't have any downsides I can think of.
Mhm.
I mean, unless there's a lot of startup or
Yeah, we just
recovery.
haven't seen the move in action yet.
Yep.
It could last only like 1 second or something.
Yeah, it looks
I would
like
be surprised if
we
you can
don't know.
hold it.
We don't know.
But we don't care if we don't know. That's why we're here. There's some taunts for
Those
you.
taunts.
It looks like they're the same.
That down taunt looks different to me.
I wonder if
This
you'll
is where
still.
he says gyoza. in
Oh wait,
Japanese.
that actually might be different. Oh,
It
wait,
looks like
sparkly.
he spins and
okay, side
sparkles.
taunt was when he said, "You're not ready yet."
Yep.
You're not ready yet.
I wonder if they'll
And
use
unless, well, actually, it's not the same.
Uprising's voice actor, which would be great.
Oh, I sure
dude.
hope so.
Have we? Oh, well, I doubt we've heard anything
We
about.
haven't
that.
heard like
We've
any
heard
voices
cries.
at all,
Because
really.
even if we heard it's like, oh yeah, Magnus and Palutena have their voice actors coming back, it's just like characters.
Yeah.
I mean, and Palutena's probably a character, but
But we're here to speculate about that, right?
but- well,
This is Pitt. This is his showtime. The
Yeah.
year of Pitt today.
the year of Pit begins now. If he gets another game too, but I think the downtown. I agree. That's the only one. No, but didn't he do that? Oh no, that was his. That was how he
Downtown?
appeared. That was how he appeared.
No, one of his taunts was he just kind of like.
Yeah, there was
It
no
does-
sparkliness.
But
though.
it was definitely
Yeah.
less sparkly. Definitely less
but
Edward
I think
Twilight.
the animation
No
will probably be the same.
no feathers.
It
Little
looks like
feathers.
the animation is the same, but they just added in effects.
Mhm.
Which is
Which
cool.
is cool. Yeah, definitely.
But
So heaven.
as long as he still yells, "You're not ready yet."
It's kind of nice to see Sakurai adding in like these more characteristical elements. I mean,
Exactly.
in Brawl it was very dubbed down. It was very realistic. You know, not really gritty, but
Was, yeah.
it. You know, you don't have this kind of unrealistic, just like imaginative effects surrounding these
Mhm.
characters.
Well,
it's cool to see him.
That's
coming
I
out
think
with
what
these-
you're saying is with the expressiveness. Is it just kind of
Sure.
embraces that
exactly
sort of that side of everyone.
Mhm.
It kind of doesn't worry about making it too.
Which, surprisingly, I mean, lots of people argue like, "Oh, that's not that important," but it adds a lot to the game, even if
Really
you don't
does.
for
notice.
sure.
Well, I mean, that's why we've just loved all the screenshots so far. Is it just like, I mean, just looking at it, I mean, I remember
Those
that was the
games.
first thing I noticed when DDD was revealed. It was just like, DDD's
His
faces are
expressions,
awesome.
They're
yeah.
hilarious. Mhm.
Speaking of which, I love like the lines on Battlefield and whatnot in these
Mhm.
images, but whatever.
Lines on battlefield.
It's,
Okay.
it's time.
Standard attacks. Okay, this one we need to show you because there is something kind of crazy that we needed to speculate. Okay, oh boy, it's like crossing into it. Weird. But anyways, but it does say it's just a missile. A sword can slice it right up, of course. You could also just use your bare hands. Now, I don't think Sakurai's insinuating like DK could do it.
No, I
Yeah.
think he's saying he could punch, like, just kind of like, you know, when you hit, two people hit each other and brawl with about the same power,
The
and they just
clink?
kind of jump
Yeah.
back a little bit. I think you can cancel out.
I mean, in a lot of
Missile.
The insinuation here is that
It's
any
kind
sort of
timing.
standard attack
Yeah.
can cancel out missiles.
Just
which is
like
insinuating
in
they have
Ganondorf.
really low priority,
Mhm.
which is pretty bad sign for Samus, honestly.
Well, it
Might
looks
have
like it's
parts-
just her missile. I can't. What other projectiles are considered? Well, like, could you cut Link's bomb?
I mean,
You definitely can.
You probably
at certain
explode it.
percents, you could even.
Well, Link's bomb, you just kind of hit it away, don't you?
It has a hit like meter or like HP bar.
Okay.
Essentially.
Could you cut the boomerang?
The boomerang you can cancel out.
I mean, there are a lot of projectiles where, like Ganondorf, a forward tilt, it would stop a Samus charge shot. I mean, we've seen that
Well,
before.
he has the Triforce of Power.
It's true.
And it is written. Only Link can defeat Ganon.
It's true.
But and we're off.
It's his only good matchup in Brawl too.
That's hilarious.
I believe it.
So, but I can't tell in the picture, but it looks like to me it's getting cut, like
Yeah.
literally cut.
So that's a
I-
property
yeah,
of
that could be
the
the
missile.
Mega
That could
Man
be the
Zero
frames,
style.
though. Like if the sword
That
is,
is sick.
if the sword is just in front of the missile, though, it kind of looks the
See,
same,
okay,
too.
so let me give my impression. It looks like to me that he's saying that its sword moves can cut the missile.
Mhm.
I don't know about other
So
moves.
it's not
says
necessarily
your bare
pit.
hands,
It says
so I
right
think
there.
other.
Yeah.
A sword can slice it up. Of course, you can just use your bare hands too.
Yeah, so this is more of the properties of
Of
that,
missiles.
not Pit's attack.
Yeah.
Right?
But if we just go to the standard move itself, the move doesn't look any different than normal.
It's a jab. So wait, is he splitting his blades here? I think he is.
You guys
Yeah,
think he
that's
is?
halfway
Right.
through.
Okay. But so the real question with this is, I mean, the jab itself looks the same, which he does the cut a few times and goes to where he attacks really fast. He does the multi-hit.
It
Yeah.
could be. It looks a lot like Pit's forward smash though from Brawl.
It does.
Mhm.
So that could be. It could be. The missile could still have
And you
pretty
can
good
see
priority,
the sword
but you know,
arc. It came from behind his head.
it's interesting to think about that.
Yep.
The implications of that. So
And once it's still image, it's hard to tell anything.
What the? Oh, well, I should actually. I never noticed that in this picture, like, Pit's, like, really going for it.
All out, man.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's another one where his bow
He's-
is in half.
The forward tilt, but he's like
Oh,
leaning
never mind.
super
For some
into it.
reason, in the zoomed out, I thought his head was where his left arm was,
Oh no!
and like he
His
was
head's
doing some
pointing
sort
down.
of some sort of diddy
He's
motion.
been listening to Wii Fit Trainer too much with that yoga.
He's really good. But I just noticing, I like how the swords look in that picture.
Yeah.
But it looks like the forward tilt's the same.
Mhm.
That doesn't look
It
different.
goes farther. It looks like. From what
It
I've
is totally
Yeah, that's
Diddy's
true.
forward tilt. But I mean, forward tilts are forward tilts or forward tilts are forward
Pit's
tilts.
wings look great, and I think that's kind of emphasizes the fact that you can see behind them, like the individual feathers are on the edge.
Mhm.
Or in Brawl, it
Yeah.
wasn't like that.
Damn
Yeah.
wings.
The new game, I mean, the new graphical engine is just going to be able to allow things like that to just really
Mhm.
shine.
Mhm.
And that's shininess on his
Okay.
top, right?
Side Smash. Let me open it. I don't know if there's a pic or if a comment or if it's even relevant.
See, and I see this, and I love
have
those
colors.
slashes. It's just like,
Oh yeah,
bam,
those
bam.
little things that they said they added.
Yeah.
Mhm.
DK always getting hit in every
So that's
picture.
hitting
Pikachu
Pikachu behind
looks
him,
happy.
correctly?
no.
No, it looks like
It's not.
Pikachu's
Is he
side
doing
B.
side B?
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
he's doing this.
So
full
he's
bash.
just sparkly when he side B's as
Because
well.
Pikachu looks
Full of
happy.
awesome.
See, DK is like, oh my gosh, I'm getting hurt. This sucks. But
And the
Pikachu's just kind of like soaring along. He's like, think he's singing the Pokemon theme song to himself right now.
Okay, so is this white kind of shininess, is that like the clouds behind Pit attacking, or is that Pikachu's side B?
Well, I think this
I think
is
that's the
this
side
glare.
B
It's
trail.
affected by this idea. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no way
He
that's
kind of has
a
like a
sword
little cloud trail when he fully turns.
You can
himself.
see clearly like where the sword's arc is.
You're correct.
And,
Mhm.
if there was
There's
like
two.
there to
if there were like a
there.
cloud effect with Pit, like in Brawl or Melee, it would be on his feet, coming out from his feet.
Because it looks like
Oh.
that right there is like an extra one, like just for the move itself, and then this is like the purple one's
hit.
the hit.
Yeah, this means
Okay.
that you're
So
getting
you don't
hit.
think
Right.
that it's two slices?
Because we've
now.
seen one. Well, it
It
still
could
might be
still
two
be.
slices. We're just looking at a still image.
Right.
Yeah.
But frankly,
Well,
the
'cause
move looks the
the
same.
purple looks like he made an X with the sword, and you see the purple as a slice as well.
Well,
It's
usually
not,
with
yeah.
bam, bam, I mean, no one, you guys can't
It
see
was
me making
full-
that motion, but
Yeah, he'd swing with one arm, then
just
the other.
imagine
I
the
mean,
move you already
if you're
know.
thinking that would represent a swing, then I would. You see the yellow
Yeah, the yellow's
line
more of a
coming out
slash.
from down and left of DK.
Yeah, it looks.
That looked more. That would look more like a slashing motion, but I feel like it's.
Looks like he got
it's
his thumb
clearly
cut
not,
off.
You know.
His foot thumb.
No! How will he climb trees? He's back again, and this time he's a cripple.
And it also looks like the new version of this move swings more sideways.
your
It doesn't look like
handicap
it
on.
gets from the top as much. From this picture, anyways. Just
Yeah.
like. Just
Well,
as-
I think that
diagonal.
thing is it's just the same vertical slash, and then he's going to do another vertical slash upwards.
Probably.
it just looks like to me that he's slashing more from the side. Look at that. I mean, if you look
It
at
has
that
a little more
yellow
of an arc
slash.
or an angle.
Yeah.
This one, like,
And
if you look
slash
at the
is a
brawl
slash
one,
is a
he's
slash.
slashing like straight down.
Well, could it just
almost.
be the way that it's putting it on the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
No,
could be the
no.
angle.
There's definitely an angle there.
Mhm.
All right, then.
But
Sorry, I was right.
All right.
Let's move on.
But yeah, it looks fairly similar, and it was a good forward smash. Like, it could punish rolls
You
really
could DI
well.
out of the
Well, they-
first one.
well,
it
you-
was bad.
Oh, except for that, then.
My problem- Yeah, my problem was in free for all, there'd be the pit spamming in the corner,
Mhm.
and no one would want to address him, and then I'd go over there and just get forward smashed in the face.
Yep.
Well,
I was
Try
the
to punish
one who
him
always would go and take
for
those
spamming.
people down.
And I'd
let's-
lose for it because I'd be getting all this extra spam damage.
Spammage.
Spammage.
Okay, this I think we'll jump through these two pretty quickly.
Neutral
It
looks
looks
the same.
He's
Just-
about to get.
This
I
is
don't.
a pretty
Swords.
old image, though.
Yes.
So I'd bear that in mind. It's
I don't-
there's a high likelihood it could change.
I don't think Bowser was
I
about to beat him
Doubt
there.
it, but you're right.
Up air looks the same.
Lots of spinny.
Both good coverage moves, and in the vein of spinny stuff. Now that you mention the new forward air.
More
Looks
spins.
Now it's normally the forward air was like what his forward tilt was, just in the air.
It looks like his forward B, but in the air.
His
Yeah.
old forward beat.
His old forward B.
Yeah, and if you notice, he's actually not holding it.
He like kind of spins it with his force powers, you know.
Yeah, I mean, clearly established in Kid Icarus lore
Yeah.
is that Pit is secretly a Jedi.
He's got the robes.
They're really delving into the
Why are his
explanation.
blades glowing blue?
If you
Why
guys
are they
weren't
glowing
sick
blue?
of yeah, it's back. Don't worry about it. We got it covered.
Louder than ever and more.
He's
It's
got-
Sakurai. We
Get
got
Now
it
you
covered.
can hear it in the air too. There you go.
everywhere.
We've gotten the tiniest Japanese schoolgirls to do the voice action for this move alone.
Just this move.
Yes.
A chorus. of
Exactly.
Of course. But yeah, I think this provides that's more forward airy, and considering his up air and neutral air are all more coverage rather than kill. I'm wondering if this is going to just be like another like, hey, just kind of a keep away forward air.
Well, it feels like it would work kind of like, you know, Yoshi's flutter kicking and that, and the sword kind of like trap him in there and do
Mhm.
multiple hits.
Okay, yeah, his up air does that.
hmm
That's what we're saying. Those are kind of coverage moves because you can DI out of them very
Yep.
easily.
So, I mean, and you mentioned earlier that not having a good, or his back air was the only kill move, and so forward air was kind of useful if you could kind of do the wall of pain style kills, but not easily, not super reliable in Brawl, but you could sometimes get away with it.
Yep.
But and so this doesn't look like you'd be able to do that anymore. But definitely it'll be interesting. I think this is from a video clip,
That is. Yeah.
but it doesn't show hitting anyone.
hmm
It was in the Smash Direct when it showed.
So it looks like he starts it near him and he kind of slowly throws it out and pulls it back.
But I mean,
It'll be long.
One thing to mention about this, can we pull up one of the other images of really quickly?
which one are you looking at?
Just like the up air, for instance.
Up air.
So if you look at this image, it looks like those are kind of separate hits. Like there's a distinction between the hitboxes on that up air.
Uh-huh.
If you go back to the forward air,
It's just one.
It's
then it's just a one giant like
It's one
circle.
big circle,
spinny.
yeah.
So I wonder if that, it's not for sure, of course.
And like maybe like the other
Not
was,
not that one. The
Well, I'm trying to see the Brawl one.
yeah. So those are all
Interesting.
distinct hits.
Interesting.
But with that new forward air, it looks like one big circle. So it could still be like high range,
but I
a
could just
strong
push people
attack.
off.
So I think this is showing that this is probably more of like a kill move or one strong hit.
Do you?
Might have just a
Interesting.
single hit box.
Interesting.
They're just it could be separate moves still because a more recent.
And notice
episode of
Anna was
Diablo 2.
sheepish about joining me in the conversation in the first place.
That's
Now
a really
look
good
at
insight,
it.
though.
How? Why was I sheepish? I was like belly dancing in front of you silently. That's what was going on.
That's why we need a webcam, guys.
Yes.
But one thing
Yes.
could the other aerials though just be kind of a startup in the startup phase of this? You know,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Someone's up.
maybe.
Doubtful. Doubtful.
The notable absence here is this back hair, which we talked about a little bit briefly.
Mhm.
If it's changed at all, we don't know. I mean, it might just be his forward air just behind him now.
Yeah. Who
because that
knows?
seems to be his favorite thing to do in there.
Is to spin his swords around. I would too. If I was capable of that, I would spin that around like
Helicopter
at
style.
parties. I mean, anywhere. I mean, in the grocery store line, just throwing out that like, hey everyone, ah, and yelling at the same time, and then flying away, of course. But all right, so I think that's probably good.
Okay.
Let's move down
to the
to
final
the
smash.
Palutena confirmation.
Sakurai, can I just say thank you? Thank you. Thank you. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
and I
saying.
don't.
Thank
I don't
you.
really like the cherubs. They kind of creep me out.
The soldiers.
Well, like they're like little fat
Lady
people.
Palutena.
It was. I loved the
Or what
thing I
was it
loved
he
about
said?
it is how in also Kid Icarus Uprising they kind of kept that thing. It's like, oh, they're such valiant warriors, but they're so replaceable. It's basically what it was. It's like,
Yeah,
they're just like
They're admitted to being scrubs. They're just like, oh yeah, they're just kind of fly at people and die. But like Pitt's the only one who's except for the super buff one,
yeah.
which and again I kind of
Or
joked about this,
scarier
but
looking.
I have to throw this in. I'm like, this is one of the things that made me think it's like Palutena was in his last Final Smash. Now she's not in this one.
Not at all.
And, you know, I've been talking a lot about her, but
So she's totally deconfirmed from the game. Clearly.
yeah, clearly Sakurai
She
doesn't
is
even
not
want
in
her.
the game.
Doesn't want her.
Sorry, guys.
Yep.
You're just like, you know what? I don't like Palutena. Nope.
But
Not
anyways,
even in the fight.
I created her, but whatever.
she didn't bring her glasses, so the way this one works is pretty much he just goes nuts. I mean,
Shoots arrows in the air and
in the
forward.
video, I can't tell how much he's controlling it because, well, it looks
We
like
don't
it'll be
know.
more of like a kind of like a Gigamac or Giga Bowser or Wario
It
Man,
looks
where it's
more
like,
a Mario.
Yeah, it looks like a Mario
think it's a
Samus
Mario?
to me.
'Cause
it just shoots
like
forward.
a wall,
here, is it
or like a
scripted?
nest.
Is it scripted?
That's what
I think it
looks like.
is.
That's what it looks
Because
like.
it shows him moving around, kind of dashing around, like shooting arrows and then shooting like some in this.
Doesn't he just go up and down? I thought it was just
Or
kind
you
of like.
have to check the video for that.
I'm pretty sure he stays on the left side of the screen.
But honestly,
Where do we see it? Is
looks
it in
like
the
a
last
fairly
direct?
weak
Yes.
Final Smash, more like a damage, like an all coverage damage dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Just rack up all of the damage on everybody.
I think it did.
Yeah,
kill,
I don't
but-
think. I think it's scripted.
What are the three sacred treasures? Is it it's the bow, it's the shield, and what's the other
the
one?
shoes?
Is it the shoes? The
Master
boots?
Sword.
It's the Master Sword.
Master Sword.
It is written.
Yeah, doesn't he have like winged shoes or something that are?
I
I don't think.
third
I don't
one
think
is.
it's the shoes.
Is it?
Oh, helmet. He has that helmet.
That's the
Oh, it's the
helmet.
helmet. That's right.
Yep.
Well, I'm wondering. The helmet like just gave you like a damage reduction. The shield could literally reflect attacks in Kid Icarus Uprising, and then the bow is just a really good bow. I wonder if each one will get its own little screen time, or if it's just
Mhm.
going to be like
I have
Who
all
doesn't?
of these, but I'm only gonna kill you.
it's
with
like
the-
yeah, I just got a little PK Starstorm that I can use over and over and over. PK. Oh, my voice died. Sorry. Okay. Cool. I can try and find the video, but
Yeah. Are there any? Yeah. Are there any other things that we've noted from screenshots with Pit?
he can kick Metal Yoshi.
He can kick and not afraid of anything.
Not break his.
Does he
toes.
ride? Apparently, he does afraid of Charizard.
He does.
At least his tail. Maybe he was trying to put it out,
Mm-hmm.
which is a no-no. Oh, the new Kid Icarus stage looks really cool on 3DS.
And
We're hoping for witty banter from the various gods.
Okay, have you guys talked about the massive new Kid Icarus
Oh.
stage yet?
Yeah, I mean, there's really one thing to say about Palutena's temple is that it's stinking huge.
It's like twice as large.
It's like
as
as a
three-
rule.
It's
like
three
four-
New Pork cities put together. It's like, hey, look, Newport
But-
City, Newport
but,
City,
like-
Newport City.
250% extra Hyrule Temple cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
just-
like it's just on the side and the
The
automatically
thing
shoots out
is
arrows.
just going
Yeah.
to look massive.
They're probably homing. They look kind of like they're homing.
Little Mac's in the air. He should not be in the air.
He
He's
is no
no
air
air
fighter.
Sorry.
And Smash ain't no joke.
Guys, this
So-
is no joke. Smash ain't no
Go
joke.
back, get on the ground.
I hit the button again and it's scrolling through. Cool. I'm trying. There's another forward air pick,
That's
but
just a neutral.
Olimar is
Oh.
Olimar is epically
No,
dodging
second
it.
right to the neutral air. I shot the same new animation effect.
Oh.
So
Wait, but
who knows?
this looks like his forward arrow.
Wait,
Oh,
I
maybe you're
think
right.
Because he throws it out
was
in
it
front of
Sosi
him.
who said it that like maybe it's like him like reaching out,
Yeah, because
holding it out, and then bringing it back in.
Yeah, that's what it
Maybe
is.
you're right. We will see.
Because clearly the
For sure.
Pikmins don't care.
Yeah, that does not.
I
look
mean,
like,
0 Fs are given.
Yeah, look at his like. Look at his like.
Yellow's
looks
just
he's
like
almost
Red's
winding
sitting
up
down.
to throw it out.
hmm
He's got his upper body kind of twisted there. It looks like.
Yeah.
So I think that's
Yellow
a good
don't
point.
care. Blue's like, dude, I think you should care, and Yellow's like, I don't care. And Red's like, I'm done for the day. I think we
Pikmin
should
are
make a
great.
game just about Pikmin fighting each other. Oh, wait, we have that.
Pikmin,
Yeah, exactly.
Pikmin Warriors. Pikmin Muso. There you go.
We need a Pikmin Musu. Whoa, what is he doing there?
This is the
Oh,
image
is it-
about the.
This is where their
That's it.
arrows hit each other. But
Oh,
doesn't
this is
it go
very-
through?
This is so interesting to me because that description makes it so unclear.
Mhm.
Like
He kind of has that
there's
tendency
like
to do that.
arrow because it
Get through
almost
it,
seems
or-
like he's
yeah.
implying that like the arrow
Both
flash
Link
in
and
like the
Pit
middle or
use both,
something.
when they
Is it
fire
just
that
the
arrow,
speed,
they'll
or-
actually
move
cancel out closer
forward?
pit.
Uh-huh.
Besides tap and protect our speed, there are
Pass,
many
you know?
elements that affect tactics such as accuracy, vulnerability, and strategy, and
You
even
don't wanna-
seemingly unrelated features like a character's physical abilities. What does that mean?
So is
It's
it going to
so
go
vague.
somewhat through the arrow is the
Exactly,
question.
that's the question.
Clearly, it
We don't
means
know.
that DDD will still be amazing
I would love
because
to
of physical
see,
abilities.
I would love to see element like a mechanic added into.
Oh, that looks
you know,
like his
register
air
that.
dodge.
Pit lane
So like
soccer.
even if you cancel out Cannon Falcon and Falcon Punch, it still like goes forward a certain distance. But you know,
Who's
Yeah.
getting burned there and why?
That's a
Red
Pikmin.
Pikmin.
Is it just, oh, it's his down smash. Well, we're not talking about Olimar.
No,
Yeah, that looks like his air dodge.
Yeah.
More Orbitars. Then these are the old picks.
Mhm.
And then,
Villager taking his B. Yep.
all right,
arrows.
folks. All right, folks. I think that covers it for
We're
Pit for
pretty
now.
much there.
We'll maybe get back to you on the final smash and Galaxy's getting cut in half. But, yeah, I think, anyone else have anything they want to say about Pit?
TLDR Pit sucks.
TLDR, Pit,
Palutena deconfirmed.
whoa.
Hashtag Ano doesn't know what he's talking
You heard it
about.
here. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks.
I'm really excited just to see what he's like. I really am.
Yeah.
I
for
remember
sure,
I
for
wasn't
sure.
excited about Pit, but when I saw like the changes, I was like, "Whoa!" It's like I really started rethinking Pit, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "This could be really cool."
I just see as a character that I think he deserves to stay. I really do.
I agree.
Lucario was kind of questionable for me, but Pit I wanted to stay. I feel like he's made, and especially now, he's made his place in the Smash universe, and
And the
he's
Nintendo
staying.
universe.
Well,
Yep.
when you have 600 other potential representatives, you know, you feel a little bit more.
No, there's over
respectful.
700 because of Pokemon.
Each Pokemon.
Whatever.
Inkay for Smash.
Whatever.
Lullaby?
Eevee is in a Pokeball.
It's so cool.
I would love to see.
He's gonna be basically Majora's or the Skull Kid. He'll probably just flip everything upside down,
So he's gonna be the new.
or he'll reverse your
He's
stats.
gonna be the new.
Bowser's a fast light
Palkia.
character.
Palkia.
That would be awesome. I now want to make that happen. I'm gonna hack the game.
Anyway, we're getting off topic. We should.
Yeah,
probably-
let's wrap it up. Okay, this is your next episode of Dame Character Impressions, and let's sign out. I'm Raid.
Jelly.
I'm Sosie.
And I'm Adonano.